What's up, YouTube? Today we're returning to I think it's the Slim Sap in Black Crackle by Witchdoctor Zero. This is the kind of like budget line that he does, although he's doing them in different leathers. So I've been carrying them. I don't want to say at work, but if I'm like in a bad neighborhood and maybe people are, whatever is in the water, whatever is in the air, whatever is in retrograde. I've been carrying this in my knife pocket, or like the front little utility pocket on 511 tactical gear pants, slacks. And I have to say that this is like I think the smallest, the Slim, maybe not the smallest, but as far as saps go that Witchdoctor Zero makes, it's also one of the smaller saps that I own. I've been carrying this one in the Classic. Classic's a little bigger, a little heavier. The center of gravity is way lower on it, so it seems to tug on your pants a bit more. This one is a little less. And it's really easy. Obviously, I would suggest you a little thing for it, but like say you don't want this thing flopping around, you can put it up like this and then tighten this up. Bam. And then when you need it, it's just as easy as you can, do it like this or flip it around in the air, but then get it like this. Now you have not only a little bit more of like this is gonna act like is it a fulcrum? I don't know. Listen, it's still morning time. I'm not a physics master or major, but you know what I mean. And this thing at the ready it's just a lot of power in your hand. I'm usually also carrying something like knuckles, or kind of depends on what I'm doing, but obviously, these things are just a great option, obviously, why they were so popular back in the day, why they're I wouldn't say there's a resurgence, but I think as far as people that carry stuff, I think you might be surprised how many carry something like this that know about it. Because this at the ready, or in a place where you can grab it within like a couple seconds and then deploy it, not only is it, this is like a hammer basically. It takes my reach, I'm like 5'10"-ish, whatever my wingspan would be 5'10", and it adds like how many inches would you think? That's what she said. Yeah, it's just a great tool, and I just don't want to get caught unawares. And I still carry mace and stuff. It's just that the mace takes a legit couple seconds, sometimes more, to get out of my pocket. You're using fine motor movements, whereas you grab this, let's say that it's so quick and like things don't go perfectly, you've got it like this. This is any hitting, slapping, thrusting, those are gross motor movements. So when the adrenaline hits your system, you lose your fine motor dexterity. So like, let's say that you have camouflage pants on, or like utility, what are they called, cargo shorts type of thing. If they're buttoned, like a button clasp instead of Velcro, which I like the button, more of a former Marine, so I just like the BDU style. But getting that button open, if the adrenaline is coursing through your system, you might find it difficult. And if you've not had something like that happen before, it can be kind of panic inducing because you don't know why it's not happening, it's not working for you. And this is also why if you are ever in the business of gunslinging, they'll teach you, like, the M16 has the charging handle. Yeah, that's a great way to do it, right? But also they'll teach you to, if shit's going wrong and you lose fine motor dexterity, you put the edge of your knife hand, so to speak, against the charging handle and you rack it. It's just something that you have to be aware of. Not being aware of, it's kind of a tangent, but kind of not being aware of how your body reacts is like not being aware of, like, oh, I've been spending hours in the dark. Let's look directly into the lights of this passing car, or whatever the case is. And then because you're a fucking noob, you don't close your shooting eye, and when the car passes or somebody jumps out and you can't see anything. Whereas if you had closed your right eye, car passes, bam, right eye open, you're engaging a target. Obviously, it's, I worked not only as a Marine, but also in crowd control. You could honestly say, you could make the argument the Marine Corps is also crowd control, but you're just killing them. And sometimes the crowds are like other soldiers, but that would be kind of a stretch, I feel like. But in any event, these are just things that you really kind of need to be aware of. So, whatever you're doing doesn't turn into some Chris Kyle is the sniper. Who's the Kenosha kid? Kyle, whatever his name is. Doesn't turn into one of those scenarios where it goes from you're doing some security, let's say like he was a Kyle Rittenhouse, for a little bit of pay, and then you end up killing 3 people or 2 people, maiming one of them, and all of a sudden, you're in a deep, deep shit. Not that, like, I don't, what he did, like, okay, we can continue. It's getting a little long, but let's say shit's gonna go down. You've got your trusty sap. You know what else you should bring with you? A buddy. You should not, if you're going into a hostile environment, like, say, Kyle Rittenhouse, you should be moving in 2s. That way, one lone person, imagine if there were 2 Kyles, one Kyle takes his M16 and muzzle strikes these people in the head. They fall back. They don't need to get shot. Life goes on. But in any event, not that I think that by the way, that Kyle Rittenhouse was legally in the wrong for protecting himself. I just think that the situation that he put himself in, that's not a good one. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So, that kind of comes to the situational awareness that is talked about in the military and in self-defense style stuff. Situational awareness. I'm getting, I have adrenaline coursing through my veins. What do I go for? Is it is it this? Or is it this? Oh, by the way, I switched to cone from just a lot, the regular stream. This is really strong stuff, by the way, OCCS, and it has like the maximum you can get of one of them. Because I want one thing I do appreciate about the aerosolized version of mace is how strong it is. But in any event, yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on this stuff. This got long, but I don't know. Like, that's kind of also what I find a little bit humorous about some of the fighting sports is that, like, yeah, I mean, if you're like a killer, if you're trained in this to the point where your muscle memory is like, bam, I did this thing and I locked it out, and then he tapped, or I fucking broke all his legs at the same time. That's good, but if this isn't something that you really drill in, what's going to happen when shit's going down? Let's say the adrenaline hits, you panic, and now all of a sudden the guy pulls out a weapon. is introduced. Like it's the, and that's why it's kind of, some of the self-defense stuff gets a little bit of bullshit-y. It's kind of a portmanteau of bullshit. Bullshito. Is that it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, if you were in a ring, they're wearing a gi, these are the rules that are followed. But if you're on the street and, you know, there's all this stuff that we've just discussed, and oh, by the way, when I throw you to the ground and you're kind of doing a weird shuffle scramble away, you're thinking I'm going to grab a limb. I don't. I'm wearing steel-toe boots. I kick you, you know, as hard as I can in the ribs and collapse your lung, perhaps. There's just a lot that can happen. And that's why I encourage people to be prepared, because the more prepared you are to, you know, repel someone or to take a bad situation and maybe take control of it or defend yourself. Well, anyway, that's about all I should wrote for this one. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Folks, hope you folks have a great rest of your day. Bye now.